this night extra special? I mean, I know that this is a team that you have a lot of history with. Obviously, you left them, but is it still a good
Oh yeah,
experience?
it's still special either way. It's awesome honestly to just see everybody and hang out. Sitting with all my old teammates. But old teammates are still friends. Like I'm part of that. Forever. So it's actually cool. It's like that's what adults do, right? You go and then you have friends all the time, and then you go do something else, and you kind of see them. You just don't see them every day. So it's cool, and obviously makes it extra special. Being Faber's last fight, so that's huge. I mean, the things that guy has done, for me, the journey I've been on with him, and he's been a huge part of it. So to be here for his last dance, like that's crazy at a new arena. Like I remember coming to Sacramento, even when I just got to the airport, I was like, this is where it all happened for me. When I moved from New Mexico, I drove here, 20 something hours from New Mexico in my '86 Lincoln Continental, and just like chasing a dream. And he's a huge part of it. This whole city was. So it's cool to be here. And now it's just like a whole new like era of it. Like me and Faber were really the first ones there. Now it's his last fight, and now you got Page, main eventing, three other guys on the card that weren't even thoughts when Faber started, and I jumped up and followed him as like really the second guy in that gym to do it. So it's pretty cool. And now there's like a whole new arena, and yeah, it's just cool to be back.
Could you ever see
Anytime,
yourself going back?
and have the night off.
Yeah. Could you ever see yourself going back, or is that ship sailed?
No, yeah, not. I mean, I don't see it. I mean, I have 100%. Belief in like what I'm doing and kind of the different chapter I'm on in my career now. And it's like I don't miss that part of it. I miss the part of it like seeing your buds and stuff every day. But like the professional part of it, I guess the that part of it, like I like like I'm good. That's why I moved on and made a decision. But yeah, you know, I mean I could always go back for a little bit, but I feel 100% good with the decisions I make. It's just like I said, like you don't miss that the work part of it, but you miss like guys you saw every day. So yeah.
Do you feel in some way that Uriah is partially responsible for bringing a lot of the lighter weight classes into the UFC?
Yeah, not even partially responsible, very responsible. He was the first. The best way to explain it is like he was the first little guy that like people like wanted to be like. Like no one wants to be like some short dude. People want to make fun of him or cut him down and whatever. Like he was the first little short guy that people were like, damn, I want to be like that guy. Like that guy could probably take my chick. He could probably beat me up. Like he was the first guy like that was short and be like, damn, that guy's the coolest. You know, he made short guys cool. He made small guys cool, and just the shows and everything he put on. He made like the short guys, the little guys marketable. And brought where obviously there was always the skill there. He made it like he made it known. There was skill there because everyone wanted to tune in and see the California kids. So yeah, it's huge. I mean, he's 100%. I feel responsible for the movement of that.
He led the charge, but for all of you guys, it was so important to pump up Sacramento. Can you just talk about putting this city on the map and what he did and what you guys all did?
Yeah, it was huge. He obviously started that, and we all just kind of, fell in line and continued to do it. Like I grew so much love for Sacramento, living and training here, as well. And I think people saw the kind of the energy and the success that was happening here, and everyone just came up. Like that's one thing about Team Alpha Male is it's like a family team. That's what attracts people. That when you get there, like wow, these guys really like each other and love each other, and the city's great, and everyone's yeah. So yeah, it's important. But like I said, it starts with the top, and there's the trickle down effect, and it continues to grow and grow and grow.
Did you have some words for Uriah, knowing that it's his last fight? I know you guys been close and talk a lot, and I know he's given a lot of advice for guys.
Yeah.
Did you have some advice for him, and what'd you tell him?
Oh, not really advice, as much as it's weird. I'm not really like that anyway, though. Even if someone was like anybody, like even on the Ultimate Fighter, like that was my hard thing. Is like, even if you have a good life or you do good at something, like I don't feel comfortable giving people advice because everyone just does their own thing the right way. I don't feel, so it's more just like, hey, dude, I love you. Like what a journey it's been on. Like so excited, So I just told him yesterday at the weigh-ins, and it's just like, damn, dude, like we've squeezed a lot into this, this amount of time I've known you. It's crazy. It's the end, and and he's like talking about weigh-ins and stuff, and he's just like, and I'm just like, how crazy is that? You won't even have to do that again. He's like, yeah, next time I might get one of those like more portable saunas or something they were using. Like, I don't think he really connected with them yet because he was still in fight mode. He's like, yeah, you know, those portable saunas or something, that's nicer than the bath. I've been doing that every time. I'm like, dude, you won't have to do this again. He's like, oh, fuck. Like, you know, he's like, I won't, you know. So he was still like, you know, ready to, like, he was in the mode. So, you know, it's just being there, you know, just as, you know, just a person, you know, and another friend, just to give the normal talk, because, you know, I'm sure everyone else is more, oh my God, you know. So, you know, that was always nice for me about him as well. You know, he didn't, you know, ever, you know, it wasn't like, I don't know, wasn't anything too serious ever, you know, like that's why you could just be friends and peers, you know.
What have you heard from the UFC since you beat Ciuto?
Oh man, Shelby, man, that guy is just tricky. He's just tricky. Like, I'll like hang out and like we'll eat lunch and hang out, but it's like I ask one thing, oh, it's not my weight class anymore. I don't know. So it's up to Mick Maynard now. Even though I'm like, Shelby, you act like you don't know anything about it. Like, it's still gonna go through you in somewhat, you know. But he like refuses to say anything. So it's only been 2 weeks. So, you know, I've barely really started to, you know, actually get out of my house at all, or, you know, have any kind of human interaction. So, you know, yeah, he hasn't really told me anything. He told me, you know, give a call to Mick. I'm like, why? Does he need to tell me something? He's like, oh, he might have to or something. So, you know, I assume the only thing that could be next would be, you know, another match with Mighty Mouse, which I want. That's all I want and need, really. You know, that's kind of would complete me in a way, you know. So that's kind of all I really want or need, and I think that's really the only option. So I guess the only thing I'm waiting for is like when it's gonna happen. So
Will
Would
you
that be
remain
it?
adamant that that's the only fight that you want and wait just for that fight? If you have
that's
to?
the only fight I want. Yeah, you know, that's always, I guess, the only fight I want. Everything else is just that's what I need to do. You know what I mean? Want wise, yeah, that's the only fight I want. Like, it's been the only fight I want for a while, but I understand you need to do some other things. But now I'm at the point where I don't feel like I actually need to. You know, I won 6 in a row, just beat the next guy below me, number 2. So, you know, I don't feel there's any need to do anything else. If there is, there is. You know, you don't always get what you deserve. But yeah, Mighty Mouse is the only one I want, and yeah, I would, you know, ready to rock.
Is that your last shot at him?
I mean, if I beat him, we'll have another fight, and I truly believe I can. But if that, I mean, if I lose 3 to somebody, I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna fight him again, you know. And with this, it's crazy. With Demetrious, it's not necessarily even about the wins and losses, because I'm comfortable with losing. It happens. You can't, honestly, to me, you can't control your loss or your win. You can do everything to control it, but you can only control yourself. You can't control what the other guy's doing. Go out, try to fight your best. And with both of Demetrius's fights, like, it's not about the win or loss. I just feel like even when I lost, I didn't feel I was done and like I fought my best or performed my best. Obviously, in the second fight, I didn't. You know, that was, you know, just partially the sport we live in, just the coincidence that can happen in there in fractions of seconds and inches, you know, and stuff that can happen felt amazing. But the first fight, like, the best way I can explain is like when I lost to Cruz for a split decision in the title fight, like, I was done, and obviously I wasn't happy I lost, but I was like, hey, I performed well, did some stuff I wanted to do, like, you know, he beat me. Obviously I made mistakes, and that's why I lost, but it was like something that like you can kind of like live with. I want to fight Demetrious and know like, hey, he beat me when I fought my best, you know, and I don't think he's done that yet, and I haven't either on my part, you know. So yeah, that's really what it's about, you know, because you can't control the win or the loss.